is social justice destroying atheist groups? Is the question on the table put forth today. So, and if you click the link, you can find the statement I'm referencing. On July 21st, Atheists For Liberty released a statement in support of the executive director of Atheist Alliance International, which we will refer to as AAI, Michael Sherlock, after he was temporarily suspended from his role at AAI for a tweet describing religion as a retarded relic, and then referring to a woman who criticized him for the use of the word as a cunt. This statement is titled, "Social Justice is Destroying Atheist Groups, a Response to Attacks on Atheist Alliance International and Michael Sherlock," and reads in part, quote, "Sadly, toxic social justice activism continues through call-out culture and cancel culture, further dividing and diminishing the atheist community. This is far away from the core values of defending separation of religion and government, normalizing atheism, and refuting religious claims." And the statement continues, "Atheists For Liberty stands against destructive social justice entryism and the overblown response to an atheist activist calling religion a retarded relic. Atheists For Liberty instead prioritize the free exchange of ideas, individual liberties, religious freedom, including non-belief, Enlightenment values, and secular government." End quote.
Okay, what are your thoughts on this?
I thought it was interesting. There was a lot more to this statement. There's a lot in this statement. Some of it goes into how they, according to the statement, critics shifted from attacking Sherlock to attacking AI itself relentlessly and under the pretense of trying to undermine their work as put forth in this statement. And it also goes into the background of what they believe is some of the origin of this so-called social justice entryism. Personally, if I wrote this, I just would have kept a singular focus. It's really complicated.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I would change. Hold on. First of all, I agree. Mars is right. So it's not, social justice is not destroying atheist groups. Social justice is destroying everything it touches. But also, again, social justice, we are actually for social justice, but we know what we mean right now by social justice, right? Social justice, yeah, clarify, because I mean, I'm for social justice. We're talking about people who pretend to be for social justice. We're talking about the woke people, right? Go on.
There is a distinction between social justice a la Martin Luther King, a la Civil Rights Act, that strives for individualism, just as one example. And then there is a big difference between that, which I consider true social justice, and what I call, well, it's not just me, critical social justice. So this is social justice through the lens of critical theory, through the lens of applied postmodernism, and incorporates critical race theory, critical gender theory, and I can't even get into explaining critical theory, but let's
please don't. Let's get off track.
It seeks to problematize everything and look at situation in terms of the problems that arise, and often does not propose very many solutions, where I think classical, if you want to call it that way, social justice actually does put forth very good solutions. Yes.
Okay, but I was going to say something. You didn't let me. Michael Sherlock is saying, I think it's important to distinguish between social justice activism versus social justice warriorism or wokeism. So that's how he differentiates it. I think that's fair. What I also want to mention is that before Susanna rudely interrupted me, is what I would have done. What I would have done is the only thing I would change is social justice is destroying some atheist groups. I wouldn't just say atheist groups, right? I mean, it's not destroying Atheist Republic. It's not destroying Atheists for Liberty. And I'm hoping AAI would recover from this and come back stronger without letting social justice warriors destroying it. And I think the reason why I think I would have changed this to some atheist group, because I think a lot of people read this and be like, yeah, fuck atheist groups. They're all a bunch of social justice wokey groups. I'm done with it. Like, no, I mean, we have more. There are many of us. If you don't like one of them, if you're into woke nonsense, we have some options for you. If you hate Wokistani Mujahideens, like Rivka mentions, we have other options for you, right? We have multiple options. You don't need to completely wash your hands off of it. And if you see all of them and you're like, oh, all of them suck, then you could start your own atheist community. You're like, hey, look, I looked at all of you guys and all of you are shit. And then therefore, what does it mean? That means there is a gap in this market for you to provide something that is not being provided for people like you, right? This is what Atheists for Liberty did. Atheists for Liberty looked and like, hey, there's something missing here for like conservative atheists, for example. Like Atheist Republic is not for conservative atheists. We have different focus, but Atheists for Liberty, like, hey, let's make a home for conservative atheists, and they did it. Great. So you just become the solution of the problem. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying just remove. Don't say it's destroying atheist groups. Just say it's destroying some atheist groups, right? But go on.
First of all, Atheists for Liberty is not for conservative atheists. It's just for atheists who aren't the atheism plus type people.
That's us.
Yes. No, that's also us.
Okay, do not show. Why? That means they're competing with us. Why are you even showing the story, Susanna? We shouldn't be highlighting them. They're coming after our market. God damn it. Nothing to see here, people. Nothing to see here, people.
There could be many communities. I support a diversity of atheist communities. But to quote their website, they are for atheists, agnostics, freethinkers, non-religious and skeptics, independents, conservatives, libertarians, traditional liberals, and centrists. So they're not singularly for like one, like Republican atheists or something. It's not singularly for a political party. I just forgot what I was going to say. Shuplam, do you have anything to add?
I mean, I will just say, I think I said it before in the live chat. I mean, it's not exactly related to, I haven't really studied the depths of how these organizations work and everything, so I cannot really say much about that, but I will just say it when it comes to words, I still think that what Michael did and what the others who came after him did, it could all have been solved with just simple conversation instead of just making this so
But where's the fun in that, Shobham? People live for drama. We need some drama in our life. How could... Okay.
Drama is fine, but shooting down AAI actually puts people's lives at risk.
Yes. Wow, great job, Susanna. Susanna is here just to make me feel like shit. Okay, fine.
That's true.
Can I read this comment?
Yes.
Don't forget what you're gonna say, Susanna. You're a woman. You should wait until men finish speaking before you interrupt. Okay. The mad gay atheist is saying yes. A lot of atheist creators are woke folk. It makes me not want to follow them or watch their videos. Okay, again, you're right, the mad gay atheist, but again, is this surprising? A lot of people come like, oh, I thought atheists were supposed to be better than this and be smart and educated and not be falling for that one dogma choosing one dogma over another. Why would you think that? Like, I don't understand. People say, sometimes I want to be like a bit rude, and when people say, I thought atheists were supposed to be smart, I'm tempted to say, well, you thinking that proves that they're not, right? Because, because I mean, being an atheist just means you got the answer to one question. One question. You got the answer to that one right. Like, do you really think that that would suggest that you got every other things right? Like, people are like, the both sides say this. Like, left-leaning atheists say this, like, oh my God, I can't believe there's so many right-wing atheists. What the hell? Like, I thought we were supposed to be better than this. And then you get the other side, people saying, oh my God, look at all these wokey people. I thought atheists were supposed to be better than this. No. Okay, we have our fair share of racists. We have our fair share of transphobes. We have our fair share of people that are just generally assholes. We have intelligent people. We have stupid people. We have incredibly stupid people. We have all of them. We have our fair share of all of these people. Okay, and here's the thing: highlighting that is a good thing, because we have an atheist movement here, not to go out and try to claim that we are better than everybody else. We're just trying to claim we're like you. If you want to go after a racist atheist, go after them because they're racist, but not because they're an atheist. We are asking for equal treatment. We're asking for atheists not to be demonized. We're not asking you to act. We're not going to, at least we are not. I know some people are. We don't want to pretend that we are holier than thou and better than you just because we're right about one thing. But we are going to rub it in your face that we are right about that one thing, just to be clear. I'm not saying don't do that, right? The fact that you believe in flying, prophets that go onto heaven on flying horses, and prophets that curse trees because it didn't have fruits and shit like that, that doesn't mean we're not going to hold back. We're going to make fun of you to the end of time on those things, just to be clear. But anyways, Susanna.
I wanted to highlight a comment by Enderpaul at the 38-minute mark recently. Can you find that?
Wait, what time? What was it? When is it?
Well, for me, it's 7:38, but it's not.
10:38 from who?
Enderpaul?
Wait, Enderpaul?
Enderpaul? Enderpaul is saying anti-SJWs are pathetic. Woke isn't even nearly as big a problem as they've been made out to be. Move on from 2014, Armin. Watch Cult of Dusty. I don't know what Cult of Dusty is. I'll clarify for myself. Personally, I am not anti-SJW because I think...
I am.
Interesting. Because I think a lot of people who fall under the anti-SJW umbrella, this is generalizing, tend to deny the reality of a lot of bigotry that does exist. And if they were exposed to like the levels of how crazy it gets on all these forums by actual neo bad people from World War II, you'd be like, holy cow, like I don't deny that there is legitimate bigotry in this world. And I sometimes feel like anti-SJWs can fall into that realm.
Okay, no. See, this is being anti-SJW is a good thing. But what we have to acknowledge is some people there's a good thing that is happening, and then some people jump on it and go overboard with it. People are like, hey, you can't just think all white people are racist. You can't just think that racism exists even though we're in places where it doesn't exist. You can't just call out misogyny just because you know what I'm talking about, right? There's these dogmatic beliefs that people have that they want to shouldn't be questioned. They have this collectivist views and believe in ideas that go completely in opposition to the race blind attitudes that civil rights movements had and all that stuff. And it is a big problem. Anybody that says that it's not a big problem, they're full of shit and they have no idea what they're talking about. I do admit that they're fringe group of people, but they're a fringe group of people that have a shit ton of influence. And we have, if you want to see examples of how this dogmatic cult is becoming more and more mainstream and has a lot of influence, just follow Atheist Republic's YouTube channel. We cover examples of that. And again, I think it's because this whole woke dogmas, their tactics and their narratives is very similar to religion. It is within our domain to talk about them and try to attack them. So, and if you think if they're not a big deal, then you've been living under a rock. But again, I think when some people use the banner of anti-SJW and go out and actually attack people who are genuinely fighting racism, transphobia, homophobia, and stuff like that, we need to call it out. We need to, like, people like say, like, you see somebody that is actually genuinely being racist, and then somebody calls it out like, oh my, hey, there's some racism going out here, and some people are like, oh, everything is racist these days, blah blah blah. Like, no, you fucking idiot, this is actually racist. This is genuine example of racism right now happening here. If this is genuine example of transphobia or homophobia, just because some people overuse that label, that doesn't mean there is no real racism is not happening, right? So I think I still consider myself an anti-SJW, but I also acknowledge that the anti-SJW movement has grown into something. It's basically what's happened to it is exactly what happened to the civil rights movement, right? So this whole woke nonsense is basically people jumping on the civil rights movement and going overboard with it and trying to turn it into a divisive movement rather than a movement that brings people together, create an in-group, an out-group, and demonize the out-group and just make the out-group bigger than it actually is, because you become more relevant the bigger the out-group is. So what happened to civil rights movement, what this mutation, this like Frankenstein monster that was created out of like trying to get some pieces out of the civil rights movement and just making this look like this is a continuation of that, but it's not. This is exactly a smaller version of that is happening with the anti-SJW movement. The anti-SJW movement was making some genuine points, and now some people are jumping on that, and they're actually trying to use that to genuinely be racist, to genuinely being homophobic, to genuinely being transphobic, while doing all of that, but by pretending, well, I'm just being anti-SJW, right? So that's what but we need to call that out. And Daniel here saying this. So Daniel is basically pointing at on Facebook saying, I've been accused of being woke SJW more times than I care to remember when I do stuff like supporting people's right, for example, to have different sexualities. Stupid cunts. Yeah, I agree with Daniel on this, and that's a cunt thing to do. Yeah, go on, Susanna.
Side note, I think it's so funny how, I mean, maybe people outside of America don't know, but like a lot of, well, speaking just in my personal observances, a lot of white women act like hearing the word cunt is like hearing the N-word directed towards them, which is hilarious to me because I love the word. I think it's funny, which is why I like laugh every time I say it. But the Mad Gaytheist was saying, yes, Susanna, there aren't very many woke folks, but they're literally destroying people's lives. They dox people, get people fired, get them kicked out of school. Yeah. Trust me, you don't have to tell me that. You're talking to someone who used to be eyeballs deep in this stuff.
For people who don't know, Susanna is and she's not just ex-Catholic, she's also ex-Antifa. Right. So she knows how big of a problem this is. Right.
Yeah. And I know how big of a problem it is. And I I draw attention to it because I have the insight of what it's like to like truly think that you are being morally righteous when you're acting this way, and to treat people poorly because of it. I can be intellectually honest enough to say that. Like, I would be the type of person to just disassociate from someone without telling them why, because they said something that I thought was problematic, or they associated with something or someone that I thought was problematic, right? That's not right. And that's not thinking critically, and that's not engaging with the content of people's arguments over who they are, where they come from, or who they associate with, right? That's not what I stand for anymore. And I that's why I like to talk about this stuff.
Right. And okay, so just to be clear, it's actually this whole woke cult is not these. I mean, people say, Armin, this is a what year did the person mention? How many years ago? So 2000 what?
What are you talking about?
The comment that you were reading, that the person that was criticizing me saying that this
they're saying it's not 2014, Armin.
Okay, so actually the problem is that it's a lot worse than 2014 now, because the examples that you guys are actually giving right now, that's so 2014, where like you had people being doxxed, people being, there was cancellation campaigns, trying to remove you from platforms and shit like that. That is so to 2014. What we have right now is those fringe group of people are now, their ideology is more and more leaking into, these platforms, community standards, corporate America policies, the education systems, what's acceptable language, what you teach the kids, into museums, into government policies. So all of those narratives that you guys were worried about in 2014, we have a ton of examples for how it's now becoming slowly more and more mainstream and influencing people's lives who used to be able to manage to stay out of being affected by this whole woke dogma. Now it's coming into a corporation near you very shortly, unless there's something done about it, right? So this is like a lot worse than 2014. And again, if you want to see examples of that, just follow Atheist Republic, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit that bell notification. By the way, we do live stream more often on Twitch these days as well. So follow us on Twitch. Sometimes we live stream on Twitch things that doesn't make it to our Facebook or YouTube. So follow us. Link in the description. All right. Oh wait, Thomas Sheedy is here. Thomas Sheedy from Atheists For Liberty. See, they're so irrelevant. They're so irrelevant that I even forgot their name. See, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I love you, Thomas. Thomas Sheedy is saying a lot of people think that talking about this stuff is so 2014, 2015, because that's when we started chatting about the issue. Just because we've spoken a lot about the matter doesn't mean it isn't an issue, I think he means.
I was wondering if I should say what I said before we began the stream about the word thing here. So
please do. Please do.
Yeah. So when people this woke. Okay. So first of all, people call me woke, SJW, everything. Even when I mention the most like I mentioned, I posted a news about harassment of women employees in a game company, and the gamers were like woke. I'm like, dude, this is a problem. But yeah, so I'm also being used to being called woke. But what I was thinking, when these people are like, oh, you are not allowed to say this word because there have been so much discrimination with the use of this word and everything. So I was like, here in India, people use the word gay as an insult. And that this is not just a fringe number of people, that's the majority. If you're if you're trans, if you're gay, if you're bi, whatever, they will call you gay as an insult. And it affects people. I've seen people being affected by that. Even straight people who are just a bit and not very masculine, they're called gay. And I have seen so many people getting depressed with this kind of bullying in schools and colleges. So are we just supposed to not use the term gay anymore? But that doesn't happen. The LGBTQ community here, they still proudly call themselves gay and everything. They don't want to give up the term to these people for discrimination. So I don't think I believe in reclaiming terms and not just giving away these terms to people who will use them to discriminate others. So that's why I don't see a huge problem with using certain terms.
I just want to mention that we have all the best atheist organizations here at the same time. Look, we have the three best ones, in my opinion. Michael Sherlock from AAI and Thomas Sheedy and Justin Vakula from Atheists for Liberty. Like this is basically the trinity of the atheist group should be. Like, yeah, and we should do more stories like this if it brings all the great organizations like this together. Like, look, we're all here, and also the Babylon Project is also here. So yeah, like this is great. Oh, actually, let me read some comments here. Michael Sherlock is saying one of the biggest problems with the woke is woke, in my opinion, is why do you people put in my opinion in there? Say, Michael, what the hell? Like, thank you for clarifying that this is your opinion, because I thought you were just like talking about someone else's opinion if you didn't clarify. Thank you, Michael. Okay, so in my opinion is that they are imploding the left, and the left does champion important social issues. Woke has become a synonym for stupid. Wait, am I allowed to say stupid? No, sorry, cancel Michael. Hold on. There's another good comment here. Thomas saying, oh yeah, Michael is not allowed to say stupid. If he does, we'll all attack him in the blogs like the professional, amazing free thinkers that we are. Another Michael here is saying woke gets over. Wait a minute, how did Thomas saw Michael's comment? Michael is commenting on Facebook and Thomas is referring to it on YouTube. Is Thomas have like both live chats open? That's amazing.
I think he's referring to the other Michael, but anyways.
Oh, okay. Michael is saying woke gets
highlighted it on the screen.
Oh, maybe you're right. Okay. Michael is saying woke gets overused sometimes, but it does describe a real phenomenon, a real political segment with a distinct set of beliefs. Yes, every time, guys, any movement that is successful, it's going to get overused. Like, it would be surprising if it's not. If it's going to get misused, overused, people are like, oh, now we should get rid of it because it's overused. No, you just call out the people that are using your movement incorrectly, and like, these idiots are not with us. That's how you do it. You don't just give up, like, you just sort of throw out everything out. Like, we're not giving up on the civil rights movement just because we have the Wokistani people, right? We're not going to be like, oh, look, they ruined civil rights movement, so fuck civil rights movement. No. So we don't give up on that. And just because, yeah, anyways, I already made that.
It's pretty funny, the tweet that they posted when they posted this statement, the reaction on Twitter. Oh, man, I want to find this one comment. When we first were talking about the original incident of Michael being suspended, I posted a article critical of him, and I also posted an article in support of him, just to see the difference of reactions. And again, it's funny to see the reaction of us just posting this. We just posted it because we link our post when we cover the news, right? And to see people also get triggered by us just posting it, it's very interesting for me to watch. But I don't know if you can find it, Armin, but someone said, this comment really made me laugh. Andy No, Dave Rubin, Thomas Sheedy, Melissa Chen, Faisal Muhtar, Sam Harris, Yasmin, Armin, etc. have ruined the ex-Muslim atheist movement by being right-wing grifters. Half of those people who listed aren't ex-Muslim atheists.
Honestly, I would be more offended if it wasn't included in that list.
Exactly. At least they got your name in their mouth, right?
Yes. Here's the thing. Okay, wait. Was there a warning in this message that I missed? Like, what is a warning about?
So he's or that part of the tweet is referencing how when AAI gave Michael a disciplinary action, it was their quote-unquote final warning about language being used. Part of the disciplinary action included basically having to be, I could pull it up if you give me a second.
No, it's fine. I thought it was referring to
disciplinary watch for about like 2 years.
Okay.
And also, final warning.
Okay. Because I think I misunderstood what they were referring to. Oops. Okay. Let me find the tweet that I was mentioned in. I want to see that.
And
Guys, if you ever see people coming after Atheist Republic or me or Susanna or Shubham, let me know. Like, send it to us so we could review it here. Go on, Shubham.
Okay, so there's this guy on Facebook comments, like Yoshi, they think that we cannot read their comment because it's in Bengali, but they don't know that I am a Bengali native speaker. So I just want to reply to them, Jana bara nijer kaaj kor, because he's using slurs. Like he's literally saying, fucker brothers, you don't have any work, go and do your work, and then he's using slurs. So
Yes, I am looking. Okay, so here's the
I
thing.
just told him, get the fuck off, dickhead.
thank you.
Good job. Here's the thing. Sometimes, you think, like, you look at these people like, hey, let's see, maybe they have a point. Maybe, let's listen, be open-minded. Obviously, I can't be right about everything, but then sometimes, like, I am right about everything. Am I not? No, but I listen to them. I try to be like, okay, let me see what they have to say. Maybe they're pointing out something that is fair. And then, they call me like right-wing, okay? I mean, Thomas Sheedy is probably right-wing. He's a Republican. But I know I'm not right-wing. And they're so sure that you're right-wing. I'm like, well, I don't really need to be that skeptical about you guys anymore because you are so certain that I'm right-wing, and I know more about myself. Obviously, if I'm sure about anything, is the things about myself. So the fact that you think I'm right-wing, it helps me realize how ridiculous you guys are. Like, anyways, like,
Oh my God, that reminds me.
I'm basically saying thank you to Wokistani people for making it so easy to realize how ridiculous they are. Like, it's not really hard. Okay, but go.
It was really funny. That reminds me, a friend of mine in Finland told me that people were talking shit about me in some atheist group in Finland, and I'm so dumb. I'm like, people know who I am in Finland? Like, forgetting that I do this show internationally every week. But it was so funny, like, saying we undermined liberalism, that we are right-wing grifters, blah, blah, blah. I'm waiting for that check because I'm not right-wing. Even if I was, you should look at the quality of our arguments or my arguments, not my political affiliation. Oh, we got a super chat.
Yes, finally you saw it. Talking about grifting, Robert Roberts gave us $5 Canadian saying, Armin and Susanna need some right-wing grifter money. Too bad it's only Canadian pesos. Okay, this is transphobic because why didn't you mention Shubham? Huh, Robert? Huh? What?
I mean, Armin, you don't pay me. I mean, I would like to get my paycheck, but you don't pay me.
Because you're trans and I'm transphobic. No. Obviously.
Oh my God.
So
this devolved quickly.
By the way, it's so amazing that our show, when Rivka is here, like, we didn't aim for diversity. We only aim for diversity of opinion, right? Like, ex-Christian, ex-Hindu, ex-Muslim, ex-Jew. Like, that was what the diversity that we were looking for. But we managed to, without even trying, to get the diversity that the woke people want. Like, we got Susanna, who's bi, so we got LGBT covered. We got Shubham, who's almost everything under the rainbow category. I don't know. Right? So he's transgender, fluid. I don't know what else.
Pansexual.
Yeah. Like, all, like, which ones are you? All of them. Okay, so yeah, Shubham covers, and he's brown, I think. Yeah, he's Indian. He has that accent that makes it just genuinely like.
I am Bangladeshi Indian.
What?
I'm Bangladeshi Indian. So 2 countries. Bangladeshi Indian.
Wow! Like,
and Dalit.
Yes.
Dalit.
So, and we have Rivka, who's Jewish, and I'm like a Middle Eastern ex-Muslim. Like, we pretty much have hit every single diversity quota. Have we, like, the cis trans one we hit, male, female, we are like half male, half female. white, we only. I mean, these days it's a problem that we have even one white person, so that's an issue. We shouldn't have any white people on the panel. So, but that's okay. We have enough brown people to cover that. We have hit everything, like sexual orientations, gender identity. We're not even like, even when people have like trans, to just make sure that everybody is not cis, we could say like, well, you have trans people, but everybody here is gender binary. What about gender fluid people? But we even show up, we even covered that. Like, it's amazing. We didn't even try. We hit every single diversity quota that there is. It's amazing.
Oh my gosh. I wish Rivka was here. I feel like she'd have like really awesome things to say. Funnily enough, I actually did become a member of Atheists for Liberty last week. And no one with a disability, Mad Gay Atheist, I have crazy depression. That is a disability.
I have crazy dysphoria and depression. So.
Yes, we cover that.
Yes, mentally ill as fuck represented. Yeah, so what I was going to say was I became a member of Atheists for Liberty, and with every paycheck, I am going to become a member of pretty much every atheist organization I can find, because I dare anyone to tell me who I can and cannot associate with.
Okay, Michael Sherlock is saying Shubham single-handedly fails Atheist Republic's diversity quota.
Team Shubham!
Okay, good. All right, guys, this is fun. It's fun hanging out with you guys. Yeah, we missed Rivka today. She is, but maybe next week, hopefully. All right, guys, I'm gonna end this here. Thank you for having Thomas, Justin, Michael, Mars, Vince from the Babylon Project. Guys, check out the Babylon Project. Also, I guess I have to say this. I don't want to say this, but I have to say it. Also, check out Atheists For Liberty. I guess if you have to, check them out.
Check out Shubham's channel. Shubham's channel is The Queer Indian Atheist.
Yes, check that out.
And also, thank you to the people who gave us super chats today, like Placebo Believe. Where's Robert?
Oh, check out AAI as well.
Lots of people. The Mad Gaytheist, Daniel Jones, Faraz, Suha. Thank you, Suha. Suha always reminds us to like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bells, so you can see Armin taking apart the crazy rights and the crazy left and right, live.
Right. And religious stuff too.
Justin just gave us a super chat as well.
Wow, great. Okay. Everybody go check out Atheists for Liberty. I'm not even saying, okay, yeah. Now that we're getting paid, we got our right wing. We got our right wing grifting going on. This is exactly what
it's official.
Yeah, it's official. Thank you, Justin, for making it official. Okay. All right, guys. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us. Subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell thingy. If you haven't, I don't know why. What's holding you back? Okay. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, why haven't you subscribed to our channel? Explain that to us, please. Like, bell, and also if you're not getting notifications and stuff because YouTube is not telling people that we have shows, because YouTube is like, oh, this person told us that they want to get your shows, right? They want to get your videos, but nah. We think is no, and they also hit the bell button, but nah, you guys are too controversial. We want to show them mainstream stuff. We want to show them CNN or cat videos or whatever. But even people are like, no, we want to see Atheist Republic, and YouTube is like, no, we don't think you want this. We're like, no, please show it to us. We say to you, we want to see Atheist Republic, and YouTube is like, no, we think we know what's better for you than you yourself. So to solve that. There's a link in the description, which is to our newsletter. So hopefully we could email it to you. So hopefully you get some of our content that way. Okay. So yeah, subscribe to our newsletter as well. And share our videos, because, you know, we do get demonetized. That's an obvious on every one of our videos. So F that. But we don't care about that anymore. But we also get deprioritized, and that's even more damaging to us. Deprioritized, what does that mean? That means we don't show up on the suggested, you know, videos on the right and all that, you know, on people's homepages. And that's how channels grow. Unfortunately, we can't grow. So we need you guys to share our videos.